Hello and welcome to English for Grade 7. This is an online program from your school, Mongol, and with me here, Daniel. In this episode, first we're going to do a very brief recap. We started Unit 10. The title of Unit 10, as you saw in the previous class, is Citizens 2050 or 2050. The meaning of citizen. Two different understanding of citizen comes up. One, people who belong to a particular country, very common. And another meaning, people who live in a place. Okay, so in page number 44 we started the unit number 10, and then we continue with the second page of the unit. We learned expressions, we did combination of words. You were supposed to work on the words, vocabulary, and information presented like prepositions in the second and first page. And today we're going to continue with the third page of unit and fourth page of unit. Okay, please go to the page number 46 of your student book. Page number 46, student book, and the first part we're going to start is grammar. Look at the title of the grammar here. The title is written future continuous and future perfect. We're going to practice and learn these two tenses. First, exercise number 10. Identify the tenses in bold. Okay, you have number 1, 2, and 3 sentences. You are supposed to identify the tenses and then match them to the correct tense description. Okay, take about 10 seconds and focus on the bold in number 1, 2, 3 first, and try to come up with the title or the tense. Your time is starting now. 10 seconds for you. The first one you can see is written will have become. The second one is will be flying, and the third one is will be using. Okay, the time is over. Number 1, will have become. This is future perfect. The format is will plus have plus past participle of your main verb. Will have become. Number 2, will be flying. This is future continuous, and the format will plus be plus present continuous, or flying means verb plus ing. And the next one, number 3, will be using. Again, like the item in number 2, this is future continuous, will plus be plus verb ing. Okay, the first thing is done. But remember that when you come modal verb plus have or another verb, you do not bring has for the third party. We don't have will has. She will have. Make sure that you stick to this rule. Okay, now you're supposed to match items from 1 to 3 to descriptions from A to C. Take about, again, 20 seconds and then match them together. Your time is starting right now. In A, action which will be in progress. Okay. Number B, action which will be routine or in the future. And number C, action which will have finished before a particular or certain time in the future. We want to understand the situation for the tenses. First tense, future perfect, and second one, future continuous. The formats understood in the previous part, and now we want to match. Okay, let's focus on the answers. A, action which will be in progressive at a certain time in the future. Progressive means being continuous. Yes, well done. The tense is future continuous, progressive. Okay, so the first one, A, future continuous. But we have number 1 and we have number 2 or 3. 2 or 3 are future continuous. But let's see which one sounds a better match. Number B or number 2 or number 3. 30 years from now I will be flying, or number 3, more and more children will be using. Number 2 is better solution, so progressive, number 2. The correct or appropriate match for number A is 2. How about number B? Action that will be routine. Number 3, you can see more and more children will be using routine. How about number C? Action which will have finished before a certain time in the future. And this is the situation. You can use future perfect. Actually, future perfect means the tense that an event or action is perfected at the certain time in the future. Okay, so remember the definitions: progressive or routine for future continuous, and perfected action before a certain time in the future, future perfect. And the formats are actually important to remember. Now, let's move to exercise number 11. In exercise number 11, you're supposed to read the sentences and then listen to an author talking about how his life will be different in 10 years. We are supposed to find out how his life will be different in 10 years' time and mark them or the statements as true or false. Okay, so listen to the audio. I'm going to locate the audio for you and listen. Okay, before you do the listening, look at the sentences first. Look at the sentences, because any listening starts with preparation, and in any real listening exam you have a preparation time. You look at the statements in number 1 to number 6. I'll still be writing novels. It's about an author. And number 2, I'll have written 2 books. And number 3, I'll be traveling all around the world. Number 4, I won't have started a family. Number 5, I'll be living in the same house. And number 6, I'll have bought a yacht. The first thing is to understand the meaning of yacht. What the yacht is? Yacht is a sailboat, usually expensive. Expensive sailboat is yacht. Now, okay, listen to the author and try to find out the information presented, if true or false.
Exercise 11, page 46.
With us this evening, we have best-selling novelist Robert D. Ellis. Welcome, Robert.
Thanks, Anne.
Your latest novel has been at the top of the bestseller list for weeks now. But what about the future? What do you think you'll be doing in 10 years' time?
Oh, I'll definitely still be writing novels. I can't imagine myself doing anything different.
I know you write very quickly. How many books do you think you'll have written in 10 years?
I usually manage to complete one book a year, so I suppose I'll have written 10.
Most successful writers spend a lot of time appearing in public. Do you think you'll be doing that?
Oh, definitely. I'll be traveling all around the world speaking to my readers.
You got married last month. Are you planning to start a family?
Oh, yes. Not in the next 2 years, though, but I'm sure I'll have started a family in 10 years' time.
Do you think you'll have moved house in 10 years?
No, I'll be living in the same house. It's very large, so there'll be no problem with the children.
Are there any changes you'd like to have made in 10 years?
I love sailing, but I haven't got a yacht. I hope I'll have bought one by then.
Well, Robert, I'm sure you have an exciting and successful 10 years ahead of you, and I wish you all the best.
Thanks very much, Anne.
Okay, in page number 46, exercise 11, you just finished listening to a tape, and also talks about his future life in next 10 years. And you're supposed to complete this exercise by figuring out if the statements are true or false. If true, you needed to write T. If false, you need to write F. The first one, let's check just few of them. I'll still be writing novels. If this is true or false, yes, well done, true. The author said that he would still be writing novels. How about number 2? I'll have written 2 books. True or false? False. Yes, well done. I'll have written 10 books. Okay. And the rest. Number 3. Number 4. How about number 3? I'll be traveling around the world. True or false? Yes, well done, true. I'll let you think about the rest of this exercise. If you need, watch the video again and complete this part. Pay attention to the tenses are used. Look at number 1. What is a tense? Is, well done, future continuous. How about number 2? Future perfect. Number 3, future continuous. And number 4, future perfect. Number 5, future continuous. And number 6, future perfect. Well done. Future perfect, use past participle, will be past participle, and future continuous using continuous form of verb. Continuous form of verb, you can see, for example, will plus be plus verb ing. But the other one, present perfect, will have past participle. Will not has, remember, for the third party, even she will have started. Not she will has. We don't use, but we don't switch have to has. Okay, so we're done here. I'll leave the other part of exercise 14 to you. You need to think about your future, intensive thinking, and write sentence about your future. Look at here, example is done. I'll have finished my degree, or I'll have finished university in the years in 10 years time, in 5 years time. I'll have finished. Okay, so let's move to another parts of this episode, and we're going to look at the exercise number 12. Was it the first one? Was 11? I think I said 14. Sorry, it was 11. Exercise number 11. Yes, 11. Listening completed, and now we move to exercise number 12. In exercise number 12, listen. In exercise number 12, we have listening again. Okay, you look at the table here. The table is presented here to you. In this table, you can see the left side. The title is 100 years ago, and the next title is now. And you need to listen and complete the sentences here. Listen and complete the sentence. I'm going to zoom it in about this size for you. And okay, on the left side, you're supposed to talk about 100 years ago and listen about 100 years ago, sorry, and on the right side about now. So listen and complete the sentences here. Let me see if I can locate page number 46. The audio should be here, and this CD number 2, and 46. Let me see. Trying to locate 46 should be probably this one. Let's try listen to this.
Exercise 12, page 46.
Now, the last century has been one of many changes, and it's always interesting to see what some of those changes have been. Can anyone tell the class about some of the changes that have taken place over the last 100 years? Yes, Lucy?
Transportation has changed a lot. In those days, people travelled by horse and carriage or by train, but now we use cars and aeroplanes.
That's right, Lucy. Anyone else? Yes, David.
Well, I know that 100 years ago, most people died before they were 50 years old. Nowadays, however, the average lifespan is about 75 years.
Yes, medical science has done a lot to help people live longer. What else has changed then? Susan?
100 years ago, many children had to work, but now all children go to school.
Yes, that's true. Lucy?
The places where people live have changed a lot. Cities were smaller and a lot more people lived in the countryside. Now the cities are much bigger and they're full of huge blocks of flats.
Yes, that's true. Any more ideas? Stephen?
A century ago, most people who were far apart communicated by writing to each other. But now we communicate by telephone, fax and email, so it's a lot faster.
That is a very major change. Now, what changes do you think will have taken place 100 years in the future? Any ideas?
Okay, so here you had a listening, a tape, and it was in a class. You were talking and heard about 100 years ago and then present time. You needed to complete the sentences here. Please, if you need to listen to the audio and watch the video, again do it. But pay attention. All tenses on the left side, as a part of grammatical range hidden here, is past, end of the sign, present time, and we're going to talk about the future in the next part and practice this part. So pay attention to these two tenses and difference from each other. Few of them you might quote on. People, for example, the first one, people traveled by, what did you write here? By horse, well done. And carriage or by train, yes. Okay, so carriage, what the carriage is? Carriage is the vehicle that is drawn by horses. It used to be a major part of transportation means in the years earlier. Okay, and we use what? An airplane, cars and airplanes or whatever. Okay, so here, the listening was easy. I won't let I want to spare the time actually for the purpose of the class, and then we are going to move to another part. Let's see what's the next after completion of a sentence. If you need to do this completion and make it perfect, please listen and watch the video again. Let's go to another part which is written here. Okay, so I expected to have extra part for these questions, but I don't see it. So look at the description of future. Look here. Let me see. 100 years ago, people, we don't have future here, I think, and electric cars. Okay, no. Okay, yes. Hold on, sorry. 100 years ago, people traveled by horse and carriage or by train. Now we use cars and airplanes. In 2100, we'll be using. Okay, this is the future continuous chosen for this. We'll be using spaceships and electric cars. Actually, electric cars have started, but spaceships in years ahead. Okay, so for this part, please, writing and intensive thinking are a major mutual actual activities together. Think and write about the future. You can use continuous, future continuous. You can use future perfect. If you think the action is completed or perfect in the future, future perfect. If you think you want to say or talk about something that is in progressive, use continuous form of future. We're going to move to the next part. If we get the chance, we're going to work on these two tenses again. The other part is a very important part of writing, linking words. Linking words. Look here. What are linking words? Linking words are the words like, for example, you can see also, furthermore, in addition, and the other words. They link the ideas together, but because the ideas are similar, we say similar linking words. And if you link the ideas or sentences, ideas means sentences, clauses, and expressions, which if the expressions or ideas are opposing ideas, are totally different and totally different, not actually contradicting. However, but on the other hand, these are used. But the important part is this: pay attention to very, very important differences between these. These are from different classes. They are not the same. Means when it comes to write an essay or something, you cannot exchange them together. Even the similar one. Look at you. Also is adverbial conjunctions or conjunctive adverbs. Furthermore, the same. And in addition, they are the same. We have another linking word which is and, but and is coordinating conjunction. So it means also, furthermore, and in addition, or moreover. These are all adverbial conjunctions or conjunctive adverbs. You can bring them at the start of a sentence which is a single independent sentence or clause, and or in the middle or at the end, which is not so common. In all occasions, you have to use comma to separate that from the rest of things. But and cannot come at the start. It's coordinating conjunction. So pay attention to these explanations. And it's a little bit advanced, but anyway, if you sit at SAT test, which is at the almost end of high school, you're going to see very tricky questions that is totally based on these sort of explanations. Look at the however. However is conjunctive adverbs, but is coordinating. If you want to start a sentence, you can have however at the start, followed by comma. But you cannot write a sentence starting with but. But should be in the middle of a sentence, and but is not followed by comma. Actually, but is preceded by comma. You write comma and then but. On the other hand, is like however is adverbial conjunctions come at the start of a sentence, not a start of a sentence, and in the middle of one sentence. So that's the thing is, but is in the middle of two sentences. Okay, that's enough for you. I don't want to make you confused. Just remember, when you want to use them, pay attention to differences, and we're going to check some of them if we get a chance. Okay, so page number 46 is finished. In page number 46, you understood two important tenses, at least the formats and application of future progressive, future perfect. These are very important tenses. Of course, the future simple as well, to talk about future. Now we're going to page number 44 completed, 5, 6, and we're going to page number 47. Okay, go to page number 47. In page number 47, you're supposed to read the following predictions and reasons for life in the future and decide which are optimistic and which ones are pessimistic. What is the meaning of optimistic? Optimistic means being positive about the future, hopeful or positive. Pessimistic means hopeless or negative about future. The bad news on future comes into the optimistic situation, which is all prediction, and pessimistic about bad news. So in other way, doom and gloom. But doom and gloom are less or more based on news. A pessimistic is about prediction of future. Okay. So then expand these ideas. We want to talk about the ideas presented here to see which one pessimistic, which one optimistic, and then expand the ideas by joining them with because, as, or since. Okay. First, focus on the ideas here. The first idea, look at them and take about 10 seconds, just 10 seconds, very, very tiny margin of time you get. 10 seconds and find out which one is optimistic, which one is pessimistic. Your time is starting right now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Okay, so next one. Pollution levels in cities decrease. Okay, well done. Optimistic, positive. Looking at the future predictions with positive attitude. And number 2, or the second one. There'll be no more rainforest. We don't want to focus on the rest of this. We cut them all down. Pessimistic, negative. Okay, how about the next one? People live in cities under the sea. No more cities become too crowded. Pessimistic. That is the point. Okay. The next one. People live longer. Optimistic. And we go on holiday to other planets. Holiday, to enjoy pleasure, optimistic. And the next one, we do more creative jobs, optimistic. And the next one, more poor people, pessimistic. There'll be fewer jobs, pessimistic. And the last one, crime, increase, pessimistic. Okay, the ideas about future. We're talking about two occasions, and could be an idea about future with its prediction, pessimistic, optimistic. Understood this? Now, we want to combine these ideas. Look at examples somehow. You need to focus on the joining these ideas using the words because, as, and since. Look at the idea. By the year 2050, pollution levels in cities will have decreased. This is actually the tense that is future perfect chosen for this one, because scientists will have invented environmentally friendly cars. Okay, so this is the first one. However, there will be no more rainforest as again. Okay. Furthermore, okay, look at here. Very interesting sort of writing. Just remember, we learned about the previous linking ideas. Furthermore, however, and explained that these are adverbial conjunctions or conjunctive adverbs. Now, we have some extra which is added here: because, as, since. What are these? These are called subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions are sort of conjunctions that come in with two sentences or two clauses. If they come at the start, because, and then the first one is finished, we have to add comma. If it comes in the middle, we don't use comma. Look at here. Look at the example here. We are using because in the middle, or since, or as in the middle of two sentences. Starting from here. Look at here. The in cities will have decreased. This is the first sentence, because is in the middle. Because in the middle you don't have any punctuation, no commas. Because scientists will have invented environmentally friendly cars. Now look at, I want to change into this. I start with because, capital B. Because scientists will have invented environmentally friendly cars, comma, by the year 2050. So you have to feel the differences between these two as, because, and since. These are subordinating conjunctions. If they come at the start, you have to separate sentences using comma. If they come in the middle, no separation or punctuation or commas. Okay, so this practice needs you think and work hard to come up with a solution. Let's look at one of them, and then do writing. This writing is part of a classwork. You have to think intensively, trying to use the words and expressions from this unit and complete. And in this writing, you have to use linking word. You have to use any sort of conjunction, like since, like as, because you had it. For the future, you can use future continuous or future perfect. If you talk about the action that is perfect in the future, before a specific time, future perfect. Now look at the next one. There be no more rainforest. We cut them all down. Okay. In the year 2050, because we have cut all trees down, present perfect, and it started because, comma, there will be no more rainforests. There will be no more rainforest. So in this combination, for the first part, I use perfect future, and I started with because, or I can say since, and then comma, there will be no more rainforest. I use future simple for the second part. Okay, I let you work on this part and complete this using the tenses, and you have to think and write. Look at another part. Exercise number 14, another. In exercise number 14, look at the spidergram. Spidergram, you can see sort of graph that looks like the spinning of spider web or cocoon. Look at here, at the center you can see something, and then spread of or spinning of web around. Okay, look at the spidergram, and then what? And then expressions in the bubbles or the boxes. And then say how you think life will have changed by the year 2050. You can add your own ideas. Okay, let's try one or two of them. We look at example as well. Look at here. I think that in the year 2050 we will be living longer lives. We will be living longer lives. Okay. Go for example here. Underground. Okay, can you complete a sentence about the future and the ideas of underground? Yes, not a good idea. Well done, well done. So look at here. I think in the year 2050 we will be living, or maybe yes, we will be living in the underground or on the sea. We will be living. Or you can use the verb house. Okay, so let's say I think in the year 2050 the human will be housing in the undersea or underground. Present continuous use here. How about the right side? Let's say, for example, food. Meal pills, very interesting. Meal pills, sometimes I remember jokes about it. Okay, I think in the year 2050 we will be consuming meal pills. How about jobs? I think the reason I bring you the same expressions, I believe more than just once, because this is called drill. You use them and then apply them easily during the real conversation. I believe in the year 2050 we will be having the jobs that are better paid. Okay, so work the rest of them out and try to come up with future continuous and future perfect for the situation. Okay, so we are moving to the next, and the next part is about, look at here, the title of this part is expressing opinions. Okay, very simple on this. Just remember, I want to express my opinion. In my opinion, in my view, I think, I believe. These are expressions. And it seems to me that, okay, 5 of different expressions are presented here to you. Just try to remember. If you come to write the things, I think, I believe, it seems to me that, in my view, or something, in my point, and in my opinion, these are expressions that are used to give your opinion. The next part, I want you to look at this part, your school magazine. Okay, this is a task for you. It's about writing. Look at exercise number 15. Read it through and then complete this part with instruction presented to you in the form of writing. Paragraphs 1, 2. Paragraph 1 is introduction, paragraph 2 main body, and talk about the things that is required you to do. Okay, so we have accomplished the unit 10, and just to remind you, we started the title of this unit, Citizen 2050, and then we learned expressions, we learned vocabulary with the parts, and then we moved to important grammatical range here. We talk about future using 2 tenses in particular, future continuous and future perfect. After future perfect and continuous, we move to extra information about linking ideas. We learned different form expressions to be used to link ideas. You need to think intensively or brainstorm and do the writing. And at the end, we work out some extra practices about future. We learn to talk about future using these two tenses, and I ask you to complete your classwork with writing based on exercise number 15. Okay, and this brings us to the end of our class. Thank you for joining me today, and let's meet up another time. Goodbye.